and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for your attendance tonight. Apparently, if you have a council meeting on a Tuesday, unexpected after Labor Day, the public isn't real aware of it, so thank you for coming, Nikki.
You're welcome. John Lee told me so, but she let the cat out of the bag.
Well, it is posted, and it is out there.
Yeah, it's not from the building.
Yes, it is.
This is time set aside for public comments on agenda items. Unfortunately, we don't have any, maybe fortunately, we don't have any agenda items tonight. No official unfinished or new business. Partially because most of the business that we've been officially working on is kind of in the process of being done here at the end of the season quickly. So we'll get into that in the mayor's report. So it might be a fairly brief meeting tonight, but to make up for that, we are likely in the next couple of weeks to have a special council meeting, just putting that thought out for you to approve the budget. So that's coming up. We don't want to set that meeting, schedule it right now, because we want to make sure that we have everything set up for that, and we have that we're prepared for that meeting. So we will give you a shot over the bow as soon as we have an idea of when we can make that meeting. So you have the minutes before you.
There's a correction for the public hearing on this. Anna Dick was really fast.
I wondered that. Yes, I thought what she expected. Yes,
I was hurt.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Thank you for bringing that up. So we'll make that amendment to those minutes.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes to the special council meeting and the public hearing with the change to Connie Faust from Lana Dickin.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to accept the minutes as presented with the amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Journal voucher report.
I'll move that we accept the journal voucher as presented.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded by John Ressler to accept the journal voucher report. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Treasurer's report. And by the way, I'll just mention on that, you have the colorful insert in your package that you perhaps looked at. If not, it's fun. Thank you, John Lee, for putting that together, kind of helping to clarify some
Very helpful.
very helpful. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, maybe just on any number of things like this to kind of help us through that. Charts are really helpful. So
If you have anything that you would like to see on that page, just let me know and I'll see. I'll put it in there, so.
yeah, so I would take a motion on treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to accept treasurer's report as accepted. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Claims and payroll.
we accept claims and payroll as presented.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to accept claims and payroll as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Judge's report is in your packet. Total number of new cases for the month. July was 39. Total number of pending cases, 51. Total number of disposed cases, 60. Total number of active warrants, 120. Funds paid to the town of Plains for July were 5,590. Judge Collins. Mayor's report, you might have noticed that Johnson Street is completed. I think we might lay a little more gravel along the sides there. I've been kind of looking at that, just gravel on the sides to bolster up the sides of the 3-inch asphalt lift. Yeah, Blake, we did Johnson, yeah, over by the school. So that kind of, again, I'll just throw this out to be looking at priority roads. That's something that we're going to be looking at, not for this year, but for next year, planning for roads that are of concern that you happen to notice priority roads to fix. Certainly, I want to say Renovar, but it's thank you, Rittenhour. They shouldn't have put them so close together. It's really confusing. Rittenhour is certainly a high priority road, a high visibility road in front of the school. And I think that's probably an early next season. We'll be patching it and trying to clean that up and the road cuts as before we run out of summer and gentle fall weather. And clean up Llewellyn a little bit, but I don't want to put a lot of money into Llewellyn until that subdivision goes in, which is, I believe, planned for next spring to start. So, but yeah, certainly open to ideas on priority roads. We did get 3 truckloads of lagoon covers for our new lagoons, covers that go over the ponds. And right now we're working with getting bids on who will put those together. It looks like it could be a big job to actually put them together. I hope the public works guys unload them. There's a lot of weight of stuff on those trucks. So that's coming up here in the next month to do. Beautification Day, keep that on your calendars, is September 20th on Saturday. If any of the public can come to that and help out with that, that would be wonderful. It's usually a fun day of working together. Many hands make light work, so many of you that can show up to that, even if it's just for part of the day, it's a big help. We're looking for, again, a sign off from DEQ on the new well, and we're hopefully tomorrow. So we've been kind of pushing that through, working with that, with DEQ, with Morrison Merrily, and with Sherry. And it sounds like tomorrow that might get signed off, in which case Sherry is also working with our contractor to try and get them on the job as quickly as possible. So that's been somewhat successful, at least for to about 2.5 weeks beyond what it could have been had we not kind of pushed and got some heavy hitters involved in trying to move that project up. So hopefully we'll get that started and buttoned up and paid for in our narrow gap of time with the ARPA funds. I think that's all I really have to share for the report this month. Officer reports, fire department isn't here. I was just mentioning that there was a quick response on that fire up behind the cemetery today. I heard good news about that. I heard the call come off when I was in Missoula. Police department, I'll go ahead and read unless Officer Geenan wants to share anything. extemporaneously.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm feeling pretty fulfilled. Thank you, though.
Plains Police Department statistics for the month of August. Calls for service were 38, arrests made were 5, criminal and traffic citations and written warnings were 89 by the full-time officers, 2 from reserves, making it 91. Citizen contacts were 5, business and bar checks were 17, no vacation checks. Other agency assists were 14. Reserve officer training hours were 22 and a half. Reserve officer volunteer and uniform hours were 26. Paid grant hours were 23 and a half. And paid reserve officer hours were 51. And then there's a note there about some training that went on, and that's in your packet if you'd like to make sure you read that. Public Works Department, we did have a meeting last month. Do you have a report on that, Chad?
So we did meet, and we talked about a few things, the minutes are included. We're gonna meet again tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about a water rate increase. And, you know, obviously none of us wanna have a water rate increase, but it's something that we definitely need to talk about. So that's what's on the agenda for tomorrow, so we'll have more about that next month, but what we did talk about is in the minutes of your packet.
And obviously, any water rate increase goes through public hearing and a process for the public and us to continue to talk through. But we want to kind of lay that out tomorrow, I think, and figure out how to go about that process and what we're looking at and what recommendations the Public Works would have for the council and for the general population. Library, Nikki.
Hi. Our big news is that the pond is gonna go this time. The pond was originally put in 2006 with a very, very big grant that has become very costly, and it also is the amount. I think in about 2016 it became impossible to find somebody who actually could do the landscaping maintenance, and I don't think any maintenance has been done since then, and it shows. So the library board decided the last Tuesday that it did indeed need to go. Just, you know, I worry about kids drowning in it. I worry about, you know, just the liability of it, and just. So Nancy Beach, who originally put it in, is actually going to be the one who takes it out, which seems kind of fitting. We'll come full circle, and I'm not exactly sure what will be going in its place. I'm definitely advocating for something very simple, something that will be really easy to maintain. So even if it just falls to me and a couple of volunteers to get out there and like fill some flower beds or something like that, that it is beautiful, it makes the town proud, but also isn't a huge money pit. So that's our big news. It should start happening really soon. We should start seeing movement in the next month or so. That's our big news.
Thank you, Nikki. We have no unfinished business, no new business for tonight. Committee reports, administration committee, again, we will be having a meeting in a couple of weeks. Anything from the administration committee?
There's minutes attached. We had the public hearing, and then right after that, to approve the preliminary budget, which they did approve the preliminary budget to the council meeting, which was right after that. And the council did approve the preliminary budget.
Very good. We had a Public Works Committee report. Parks and Recreation. Becky?
Hello. Not much new. I will say that after the Splash and Bash, I came and talked to John Lane about a total, I think we were sitting at raised $17,962 from the Splash and Bash, which is phenomenal. Didn't even expect to get that much. It was just great to see the community pull together and make that night amazing. I'm sure you guys have talked about it since then, but I haven't been here, I apologize. I do have another gentleman interested in donating another metal horse on the Greenway. Just waiting to touch base with him, I've already got prices and, the silhouette all sent off to the metal place, just need a final okay from him and payment, so. That should be getting underway hopefully in the next week or two. We'll get another horse out there, so. Yeah, that's about all we got. We have another meeting next week on the 11th at 6 p.m. So, have more info, more projects, more things to do.
Yeah, continue to sell the idea of the horses out there. I think it's a great idea, and I think it will be a big idea. Did anybody else notice how fast summer went? It was, wow. I guess when you start out with a fire and end with a fire, and but we did keep the pool running again, and with some expenses. That was good news.
Can I ask a question as a public? Is there gonna be a pool next year? There's a really nasty rumor going around, you guys are closing the pool. No, okay, good, I will happily just start dispelling it over there, I would like,
Facebook?
Huh? I don't know.
I assume, yeah, no.
Well, and part of it is because there's a website out there that has the library phone number as the pool number, so people have been calling us and asking us for like, you know.
Oh, okay, well, you can field questions for the town then.
Yeah, we put our number on all of yours, but it'll be great.
No, there is just no such conversation at all from the town hall that way.
That would be okay,
No,
maybe, I don't know, cause I heard it from enough people, cause I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
No.
barring no major things happen.
good. Well, something about it was damaged and was gonna have to be repaired. Who knows, you know?
No, we are looking at a leak that was there. There was a leak that we have a rough idea of where that is, and we're looking to
There
repair
was panic
that.
among the 10 and under crowd.
Yeah, no, we will attempt to keep that pool open. We have a new furnace in it, and there's no reason to shut it down if we can, and we'll keep it open, so. No, we haven't even talked that way.
Beautiful.
Planning board, there's attached minutes, but John Lee, would you mind sharing a little bit? I think you know more about just where we're at on the survey. Do you have anything to share about that? I don't know. I know that they were putting out surveys at the fair, and I think we've got a fairly decent number coming in. Where are we at on that?
So as of today, we have 79 surveys turned in.
Oh.
And, but I don't know what people are saying on the surveys. I did get the idea from some that they just general cleanup. But anyways, I don't know. That was just talking with people. The surveys will end September 12th, and then after that, we'll start working on the growth policy. And you guys are going to be involved in the growth policy a lot, so get ready. So,
You said September 12th
Yeah.
is when the.
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to add to that, the parade that we had Saturday, even though it was kind of short, I did meet a lot of people, and I was introducing them to the survey. Some were not local, and others were local, and, you know, we had a good mix of people, even though there wasn't a lot of people, you know. I still had some really good conversations with people about growth policy and so forth. So it was fun, I liked it.
Good. Well,
Is this a city survey?
yeah,
Is that something I can help you with?
it's something you could certainly fill out and help with. Yeah, actually, it'd be a great idea to keep them at the library.
Bring me
And to
up.
encourage it.
I'll
We
be happy
really-
to Push them, I can stick them in every book I check out.
That would be
They
really
work
helpful.
well.
We've got a little over a week to get it all put together and brought back. And we really want to get over 115 to beat Thompson Falls at least. It's hard to get surveys, So,
Really competitive. Let's do
good.
it.
That's kind of for all of us, honestly, if all of us took home 5 or 10
Yeah.
and tried to hand them out to somebody whose opinion we care about, which hopefully is all of our constituents,
Yeah.
it'd be good to get those in. Thank you, John Lane. I don't see any police commissioners here tonight. And we did not have a safety committee meeting. Need to talk to Tony about that.
No, I talked to Tony and I said we need to schedule one and he's like, okay,
Okay, so he's on board with that.
we'll have to
Good.
tell him again, Tony, we need a safety meeting.
Take it under advisement.
Is there any public comment or otherwise? Further? What?
Officer Dean,
Yes, sir.
anything significant happen as a result of the fair? DUIs, vandalism?
Yep,
anything?
I did have, a DUI on, Friday night, Saturday morning. Generally, things went fairly well. It was busy, a lot of traffic. This intersection right here is a nightmare. The 30,000 people that come to here, they all have to leave through that intersection, and it gets to a point where, at one point after rodeos or the demo derby, the traffic is bumper to bumper from here to the other side of the bridge. Fire had a call, 7 mile marker up Highway 28, and Rescue 1 had to come all the way from the fairgrounds through all of it to respond up there. Pretty scary situation for them, as well as the people that are lining the streets from the fairgrounds here. It might be worth a conversation eventually that for large events, when we do have a huge outpouring of individuals crossing out that intersection, that we maybe devise some type of traffic control plan where we can move traffic faster to evacuate everyone off that main road. And then what ends up happening is, if anybody noticed the Facebook posts, 3rd Street becomes a highway. 1st Street becomes a highway. Hubbard becomes a highway. So not only are they pouring out down Willis from 5th Ave, they're trying to get throughout the town. It's overrunning our infrastructure. We just don't have the space for that amount of individuals leaving. So it's probably a good idea that at one point I stood out in the middle of Highway 200 and just waved them through as fast as I could get them past. Just don't stop at the stop sign, just go. Just trying to, it backs up, train arms are coming down, people are trying to shoot up from underneath the arms. It gets very wild, a little western there for a minute. But the Wild Horse was very busy. We had lots of pedestrian traffic. But for the most part, the county did have a couple deputies down on this end of the county helping out. And then myself, our reserves came out and helped. We had presence out. People saw us. For the most part, things went well. It was not a bad, 3 or 4 days. But there's definitely some things I think that, from a safety standpoint, especially with traffic and things like that, that we should start considering implementing for large group activities out there where we've got that. And then you've got horse trailer setups. All the pros are coming and going for the rodeos. They did 3 nights of rodeo this year instead of the 2 nights. So it was nonstop traffic. It's the most amount of traffic I've seen on these roads in my lifetime, period. And then in a law enforcement standpoint, it's the most amount of traffic that I've seen since I've been handling evenings on Fair Patrol. It was a lot. It was a lot. Town Bump becomes overrun. At one point, county deputies are there telling people to leave because they're just stopping and parking in the middle of the parking lot. They don't know where to park. So it did. Our little town was bursting at the seams.
Well, just to expound on that, So when I retired in 2020, they had done a study before that, and they said that, and you touched on it, that there are 30,000 individual visits to the fairgrounds over the course of that 4-day fair.
Yeah.
Um,
If anybody noticed
and
their
it's
cell
gotta
phones,
be more
yeah,
5 years later.
yeah. Anybody notice their cell phones, emergency calls dropped. I mean, just from an infrastructure standpoint, we are not built for an event of that magnitude. So it very much puts a strain on everybody and everything. So I appreciate Public Works coming out and helping out with the parade, placing barriers, helping us get set up for that. The parade went off the same way it does every year. There's one group that really wants to take a right at the end of the path and go right into our detour, and we have to tell them to go left, but other than that, we didn't have any major catastrophes that went off with a bang. That went really well. So it was, as a whole, a success. No major incidents. Like I said, 1 DUI, lots of traffic stops, lots of conversations about what that weird looking red octagon says on it. But no, it was good fair. Went well.
Well, it's still fresh in your mind too. I appreciate some ideas on what we can do next year to mitigate some of that.
Yeah. Yep.
And speaking of the train, I believe it was at about 3:21
Huh.
on Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday?
It was on Sunday.
They blocked off all 3, with all that fair traffic, they blocked off all 3 intersections
Do you
across
know
there,
what
and they
for?
parked. No, do you?
The conductors were getting lunch at Town Home.
You're not sure.
I am.
Oh, that's
So I
Dead
called.
serious. So there was a
called the
phone
county.
call made by one of our reserves who works for BNSF, and it was brought to attention. So hopefully there's some
Substantial.
yeah, because the traffic, not only the traffic was stopped on this side,
It was backed up.
but on the
to
other side was backed all the way up Highway 28. So
Wow.
The only emergency access that was.
Well,
Would have been
to get an
Yep.
ambulance.
oh yeah, not happening.
down Airport Road, that was
Yeah,
open.
yeah,
I drove down to make sure, because my wife and I were on the ambulance, and we just thought, my goodness, if
Yeah.
something happens now. And it was a solid, by the time the traffic there, probably 25 minutes, but it was 20 minutes. So the train was parked there at least 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of all 3. And we called the county and said they need to call BNSF.
Yeah.
And somebody needs their,
Yeah, the rumor was that that's what the conductors were doing, was grabbing lunch at Town Home. So
I know there's
now,
one
if
that
they'd been
comes this way.
westbound, it'd be no big deal.
It stops
Yeah.
there, but
They
it's
can
not
stop and
blocking
it doesn't
on the
block
side.
anything.
you
But
know,
an eastbound
Siding.
train, that's not good. So,
I've seen them park at the side, you can go and get lunch
Yep.
at the Nook,
the Nook, yep,
but they're on the siding.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So,
yeah.
There's
So it
no siding
was,
over here.
no, that was brought to BNSF's attention, so there's somebody.
well, and that might be something in those mitigation plans too, is to actually
Bring a lot
contact
of
the
people.
railroad and just let them know
Coming over
that the trains going through here just can't block off any of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
on those days of the fair.
Yeah.
Just let them know what kind of
Yeah.
traffic issues.
The
they have.
other thing is, there's some real jerks that lay on the horn at 3 in the morning. Not just shoot it, lay on.
It's
at our
it's just one of them.
Yeah. And I,
It's just one of them, just one.
it's
He's
too bad
I
we
know who
couldn't.
it is.
You know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take him out. I'm not kidding.
I've already told
Maybe
him.
we can all put a lot of signs up along this.
Oh, I mean, it's terrible if you live close to the tracks at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe somebody can be out there with a sack lunch and a glass of.
No, the cartoons.
Just put it on a hook out there, they can go by and grab it.
It's worse than the roosters.
They're not supposed to be on town.
Not supposed to be.
No, I don't know, they're really getting long too. The last one I went to count was 113 cars.
Yeah, we, since BNSF has taken over, we do get a lot more super trains that roll through here where they've got engines in the middle.
In the middle.
Of the train.
There
So,
was one the other day, had 4 engines in the middle.
yeah,
That's how long it was.
yeah, we do get a lot more of them now with BNSF taking over. And it's a different vibe from that group than Montana Rail Link ever was.
Oh, yeah,
So they are very much corporate, they're shutting down the Thompson, they're shutting down 2 stations down on that end, and all of those guys are gonna be without jobs. And they're gonna have to either come and push guys out from here or travel to go to work. So, but it's very corporate.
There is a conference in Helena, I believe it's on, I wanna say it's on the 12th. Just with BNSF, about all of these issues, what the effect that Burlington Northern has on these towns in terms of just access, emergency access and stuff. And I know that the League of Cities and Towns is gonna be presenting the concerns of the towns to them. They've asked the mayors to weigh in on that as well. So it might be something that I'd like to go to, or at least weigh in on online as well. Yeah, it's a big effect on our town in a lot of ways. Of course, they can always say, well, we were here first, but
Yeah, but we gave them the land.
yeah. Any more public comment? If not, I thank you for coming. I would take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
What? You can't do it.